Hi, this is Lori Wallen from Living Power Life Coaching. Thanks for joining me. So today I was putting my daughter down for a nap and I closed the door behind me and the doorknob came out of the door in my hand. And I thought to myself, oh, thank you, other daughter of mine, for another special treat in my house, something that has been pulled apart out of your curiosity. It occurred to me that this trait in her is a great thing. And I talk about this to women's groups pretty often when I speak on raising a tough nut or raising a child who's spirited and a little bit more of everything and more than you expected. Um, I have one or two in my house, and that's where that idea came from. But this particular child of mine, this 5-year-old of mine, who's really curious and who is dissecting my house beneath my, very existence, um, that is a great thing. She's going to really love that she's curious like that and that she doesn't take things at face value as an adult. And giving myself the space to sit and talk with this other professional about what was making me crazy allowed me to gain perspective. We gain perspective by creating space. We can't create time, so we can't distance ourselves temporarily from the things that we're dealing with, but we can give ourselves emotional space to deal with it, a journal, a good friendship, a counseling session, a coaching session, a group of friends you get together with on a regular basis for dinner. You can give yourself space, and that will allow some different perspective. A child's book that we love, Frog and Toad, gives us a clue to another set of perspective. There's a story in which Toad, the grumpy one of the two friends, is trying to figure out how to tell a story to his friend. So he turns himself upside down on his head. He puts cups of water on his head repeatedly. He walks outside and paces the porch in front of his house. What is he doing there? He's creating physical space so he can get some perspective. He has moved to a different area. He's changing his environment by splashing himself with water, turning himself upside down, deliberately, physically giving himself a different perspective on the world. We can use words that give us the best chance of having a positive perspective on things. I've talked about this in other videos where we can choose words, like for example with my daughter, I could choose words that talk about her in a condemning way, that talk about her in a way that's frustrating, annoying, she's wrecking my house, all that kind of stuff. Or I could say she's curious, she's inventive, she's determined, she's actually pretty honest. She'll tell us when she's done stuff. We find that full life-size, portrait of her in Sharpie marker on the back of a bedroom door, and yeah, she's proud of what she did. And so, those are some other words that I could use. I could use positive words to frame it, to actively engage in giving positive perspective and the ability to see things well when I get a different perspective on them. Another thing too is to think about, what do we really want? To gain perspective in a situation, what is it that you're going for ultimately? Well, with my daughter who's taking my house apart, I want her to be an independent person. I want her to be the kind of person who doesn't take things at face value, who thinks independently, who acts independently, not in a law-breaking kind of way, so we do consequence things that are negative behaviors that she does, but in a way that causes her to stretch what's considered to be the limits of life and to push beyond those. She's got a heart to do that, she's got a natural gifting to do that, and we want to encourage her in those strengths. And so honestly, when I look at it and I get some new perspective on it, I have to admit that I like her the way she is. And having that perspective changes things when she's doing something that's a little extra frustrating. So perspective, giving ourselves space, emotional space, structures that help us think differently, physically changing things around us so that we can have a different perspective, using words that give us the ability to have a good perspective on things, and remembering what we're really going for. Those are ways to get some great perspective on the things that you're facing right now. I'd love to talk with you more about this. If you have any questions on this video, feel free to email me. My information's at the end of the video. Have a great day.